Welcome back. Welcome back to Lucid Trading for round 2 for today, the first trading day of this week, Monday, the second day of the month of August. Today has been very, very insane so far. As you guys might know, some stocks, like Tesla, like the just EV stocks in general, right? You know, we're talking like Chinese EV stocks. Palantir's up 2.5%. AI is going up. Overall, very good day in the market, especially for Tesla. Tesla stock reaching roughly 726 on a single day. So we're talking about a move of roughly 5 to 6% on Tesla stock on a single day. That is just gorgeous. Not only that, we have XPeng going up 8%. Neo, despite its lower delivery numbers, up 3.7%. The auto up 2%. AMC stock down 2.5%. Palantir is going up 2.5%. AI is finally going up a little bit, up 1.8%. Virgin Galactic up 7.4%. Absolutely gorgeous. Today is our day, right? So far so good. It seems like Tesla skyrocketing and growth stocks are moving along. And this is no surprise. This is absolutely no surprise. I've been saying this for some time. Big tech is going to sell off slightly. Look what happened to Amazon. Amazon sold off. That's a lot of capital that's going to be deployed. And being deployed, it is. So that capital is kind of moving around to oversold growth stocks, to stocks that are just relatively cheap in comparison to the market. Not only that, we also have the 10-year, the U.S. 10-year, the 10-year Treasury yields are going down. They're going down very swiftly. They're down 4%. Remember, we used to panic about this. People were panicking about this on a daily basis from February until April. Now the 10-year is falling, it's falling, it's falling as bonds are being bought up. And so this is great news for growth stocks. This is great news for the small caps. And I truly do think it's quite promising. But yeah, welcome back to Lucid Trading. Make sure you smash that like button right now. Hit that like. Let's get it going. It does help with the stream. It helps with the algorithm. It helps with everything. Just make sure you hit the like. It takes about a second. Let me just welcome everybody back into the stream. Welcome to William, Phil, MC, Rick, Dara, John, Joe, Amirali, Tom G. Who do we have here? Kevin, Coing, Sublime, Danny. Let's see. C-Teague, Inanna Jiba, Peru. Welcome, Peru. Big Mo, Shane, The Dark Place, MRCS Rocker, Joseph Chan. Welcome back to the stream. Would appreciate it if you would just hit the like. That would help out a lot. So Square, yeah, some people are saying it right now. Square is up 11 percentage points. That is, it is absolutely wild. This is happening on its acquisition day of Afterpay. I think it's just fantastic, right? So I was kind of bearish on Square. I would say recently I was quite bullish, but I have to be honest, at 260, 270, I'm still quite bearish on Square. It has a very high market cap. And they've been growing very strongly because of the pandemic, right? So we'll see if they're going to hold on, but it's up 11% today. It's actually up 11.5%. I wouldn't get into Square right now. I think it's sitting pretty high. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's up a massive amount after the acquisition of Afterpay. Looks like it isn't even quite overbought yet, so that's kind of interesting. Oh well. But yeah, did you guys get into Square? Are you shorting Square? Let me know in the chat. I am not going to touch this stock. No, thank you. It's sitting quite expensive. Yeah, so people are kind of selling Tesla right now. People are selling Tesla, taking profits, which is normal. I think that's totally normal. Looking at the 4-hour chart, daily chart, I think this is just the beginning, right? So this is if you think this was great, then just wait. I mean, there's a lot more coming for Tesla stock. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Would you look at that? The weekly chart, the weekly MACD is showing us that it's kind of being broken right now, right as we speak. The weekly MACD has broken to the upside. And what does this mean? Why is this so important? Why is this so important, right? So I'll tell you why. It's an indicator of momentum. Momentum, when it's heading up, you will see green histograms right here and not the red ones. So right now, we're seeing a momentum switch. So momentum is switching bullish. So since the beginning of this year, Tesla's been downtrending. It's a clear downtrend, right? So what we're right now seeing is it's a turnaround. And that turnaround is happening right now. As we're going into Q3, Q4, the best quarters of this year, Tesla's coming in with fantastic fundamentals, record-breaking, record-shattering fundamentals. And then we're seeing the weekly MACD switch bullish. RSI, it's not even overbought. Like, there's tons of room to be running for Tesla here. So this is good news. This is very, very good news. Daily chart showing us, look at this. We're just getting started, right? So we're getting started right now. I think there's a lot of upside coming for Tesla stock. Considering the fact that Tesla is still down 20.6% from its all-time high. Meanwhile, big tech is hitting all-time highs after all-time highs after all-time highs. But Tesla's down 20% from its all-time high. It is crushing growth estimates. I truly think that Tesla right now, even at 716.5, is still undervalued. I think there's still upside coming. We're talking like at least 10%. I would say 10 to 15% upside. And we're talking like this is rather safe upside because generally speaking, I mean, how low is Tesla going to go? They would have to really mess up at this point for it to be going lower. And they're growing really fast. So I think for AI Day, it's going to be a possibility for Tesla to get back to the upper 700s and maybe even touch the 800s. So that's kind of my goal right now for Tesla stock, for that to be reached potentially. But we're going to have to see. I mean, CPI is coming out very soon. That's coming out in about a week. And obviously, if the CPI is skyrocketing, if inflation is surging, then that will have a big impact on Tesla and other companies that are rather high risk with high multiples, high PE ratios. And so we have to be on the outlook for that. And we will be on the outlook for that. Hold up. Let me just quickly take a look. There we go. Looking fantastic. Absolutely gorgeous. Right. So what I want you to do is take a second. Breathe in. Grab an iced tea nearby. Drink it and hit that like button. I would appreciate it a lot. It does really help with the algorithm, as you might know there's a lot of people that are subscribed, but they only get to see the live stream if you smash the like button. So make sure you do. It takes about a second. Smash that like button and drink your iced tea. I actually had an iced tea for my dinner, so that was pretty nice. Yeah, so all right. What is happening in the market right now? First of all, let's start a poll right now. I think that would be nice. All right. Will the stock market crash this year? I'm actually quite curious what people are kind of thinking about this. I actually wanted to edit the options that we can choose here, but oh well. The yes or no, the yes or no kind of, it will do. All right, so there's a good reason why Tesla's coming down, and you might be looking at the chart. You might be thinking to yourself, "But Gara, why is Tesla going down right now? What's the reason? It makes no sense. It should be going up all the time because they had fantastic earnings." Well, it's a very technical thing, and if you're not focused on it, you would have not realized it. But it's very obvious. It's really obvious. In fact, when you see it, it's like, why didn't I think of this? It makes so much sense. All right, so here we go. All right, so Tesla doesn't have any near-term catalysts, as in we don't have something coming up tomorrow or at the end of this week. We have an AI day coming in a little bit more than 2 weeks, so we have to keep that in mind. Also, look very closely at where the price went. So it went to around 727. Guess what? There is a gap right there that was filled. There we go. That was filled. And usually what happens after it fills a gap, it kind of tops out right around after filling the gap. Because, you know, traders look at these charts. They're looking at the gap. They're like, all right, you know, it filled the gap. It could fall off right here. And then it fall off. It did. It actually did fall off. Not only that, we have to take a look at where we have resistances for Tesla. And I think we could probably display this better with the Fibonacci levels. Let me just quickly, I think it was this one. Let's retrace. There we go. And maybe we can do this from this place. All right. I would say in this scenario, it's not very helpful, but we're going to try to use this anyway. So these are the Fibonacci retracement levels. So notice, how many times does it top out around 705, 707? That's 1, 2, several times, right? I got pretty close here, 694. Several times, and right here got pretty close, and it topped out again. So around that zone, we're not going to be super exact here. It tends to level out. And so what happened is it breached above that zone. So what happens when it breaches above that 705 to 710 level? Well, the stock price keeps climbing. It does not stop. It just goes on until it hits a resistance point. Well, in this case, we had the gap fill. So the gap was filled. Tesla stock came back down right after. I think the index, the NASDAQ, actually came down a little bit. And now it's retracing to the downside. And so it's not surprising that it's not sitting at 720. It's actually retracing below that. It does so very fast because it can't fight support. There is no support. You see that? There is no retracement level right here. Nothing. It's just, it goes up, hits a resistance, and it comes back down all the way to the retracement level. So there's a good chance, there's a good probability that Tesla stock is going to return back to 705 or 710 very briefly. And so that's right around that retracement level. And we can do this at several price points. We can do it right here, 700. Gonna do it right here. I guess it's to about 722, and that's obviously that's where the resistance was sitting at previously. But the idea is, it looks like we're gonna see a retracement to the downside before we see this rally actually continue. That's the point of all of this. Just show you what I'm currently thinking of. So there's a good chunk of chance. That's the trend line. The recent rally that we had was about 16%. Well, guess what? This rally was about 16%. Whoop-de-doo. No surprise there. So where does it come down to? Roughly right around the previous resistance. And then what we need to see is for Tesla to use that resistance, that previous resistance around 700 as a support, and that would be huge. It would be really bullish, right? That would be like the optimistic scenario. Honestly, the optimistic scenario is that the stock just goes up all the way. I highly doubt that that's going to happen. It would be quite surprising if it just goes up to like 750 or 740 in a single day. And we only have like 2 hours left, but who knows? Who knows? So the idea is pull back and then run up. What could also happen is it will see like a proper pullback. Pulls back to the upper 600s, and then we see the run up for AI day. Now, this would happen if the market would actually correct. So if the market corrects, a trend, it will just keep on going down until it hits the trend line, which would be right around here, 660, 670. And then we have 8 days before the AI day, it shoots back up. That's another thing that could happen. Right now, I want to go for the one where we say it might retrace to about 695, maybe 700, right here, something like that, and then bounce off of that level up to the next resistance, which is sitting around 750. So this is currently what I'm kind of thinking right now with what could potentially happen with Tesla. Although keep in mind, this is quite optimistic, right? So, but it's definitely a possibility given that they had. So we're thinking about this in a way like we have good fundamentals. Earnings were absolutely phenomenal. EPS was great. They're growing really fast. They're gonna be growing fast for the coming quarters. And so we know we can be a little bit more optimistic here. We're taking the technicals into account. The RSI showing it's overbought, could pull back to the strong support of around 700. Daily chart is showing it's probably going to pull up even higher. And on the weekly chart, it's just absolutely freaking bullish, showing that the trend is to the upside. So yeah, Tesla stock, I think even at this current price, sitting at 716.6, it's looking phenomenal. I would have not said the same thing back, in Q1, or I would say even Q4 of last year, because back then their revenue wasn't as high. But yeah, they've proven themselves again and again. And this time around, they absolutely crushed it. So if it dips down, I personally am going to be putting lots of capital into Tesla at 700. I've been covering this stock for a long time. I've been covering this stock back when it was sitting at 540. Remember those videos? Kept buying Tesla stock myself, and I was quite bullish on it because, of course, we're getting a massive discount on a great company. Bought the dip. Lots of people bought the dip. And it's now sitting at 716. That's a gain of roughly 30%. Not bad. I will take that. And I'm ready to take some more gain. All right, so enough about Tesla right here. Let me just quickly see what's happening in the live chat. We got a $5 donation from Mass Ras. Let me grab my phone. Where do you see Lucid next week? End of month and end of year. Can you do some technical analysis? Sure, I can. I'll take a look at Lucid Motors in a second. Thank you, Masras, for that donation. I'm just going to quickly check the PayPal, see if anything is loading, because I do tend to forget to log in there. There we go. Okay, we are good to go. Fantastic. All right. So I'm not so very much excited about Lucid Motors, primarily because, hey, the actual merger already happened, and they are not going to be delivering anything, no significant amount of vehicles this year, and that's kind of a little bit of a problem, because their market cap, keep in mind, Lucid Motors market cap is $38 billion, and they have no revenue. They're planning to sell like 1,000 vehicles this year. Well, guess what? XPeng is selling a lot more vehicles. They're selling like thousands of vehicles each month with a market cap lower than Lucid Motors. Of course, this is more of a long-term stock. People are thinking about this more like, okay, they'll kind of, over the course of the next months, over the course of next years, Lucid Motors is going to establish themselves. But that is in the future. So the future is being baked into the price. And so if anything bad happens, the stock is going to drop. Not only that, if the CPI is going to come in and it's going to be higher than expected, expect Lucid Motors to drop heavily. But yeah, I'm optimistic. I think, the 10-year is still falling, making it easier for companies to borrow. Lucid Motors should be able to benefit from that. But I think what we're really waiting for in this scenario is we're waiting for Tesla to rally, because if Tesla rallies, the whole market is going to rally in terms of like the EV stocks. So Lucid Motors could rally because of that. And this is why I'm so bullish in Lucid Motors right now. I think it's going to be following Tesla's lead. So Tesla's going to go up, and then Lucid Motors is going to follow Tesla's lead. Kind of the same thing was happening right now with the Chinese EV stocks. I think most of them are going up because NIO had deliveries, XPeng's having deliveries, and Tesla's heading up, right? So these things will intertwine with each other. It generates lots of hype around EV stocks, and people will just buy the stock. And Lucid Motors is going to benefit from that too. So by the end of this week, I could see it at 26. By the end of the month, I would say around 25. I don't think the stock is going to move a whole lot at all. If CPI is actually coming in lower, like we're talking about 0.4, 0.5, like low, then I could definitely see Lucid Motors going back to 28, maybe even 30 in the month of August, this month, by probably the end of the month. But that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. I'm not a whole lot excited about Lucid Motors anymore, especially given the fact that they have so many authorized shares. So if they wish to dilute the shares, they could easily do this. They have the capacity. And yeah, I mean, we had the merger, right? It's sitting at a 38.8 billion market cap. They would have to really come out with a new product or something to get the stock price going, but I think it's going to be rather flat for the time being. This is why I personally exited my position at 27.2, just mainly because they have nothing coming for them right now. I mean, what's next? Pretty much nothing. They had the merger and that was it. Maybe they're going to have deliveries, but the problem is we already are expecting Lucid Motors to deliver a certain amount, and it's not a huge amount. It's not an amount that people would be super proud of or something like that. It's a small amount of EVs that are going to be delivered, which is not impressive for its market cap. They have to perform. Their market cap is sitting at that market cap, and if they don't perform, they'll get punished severely. So those are my thoughts on Lucid Motors right now. 1,100 deliveries. You know, like Neo does like 8,000 per month. I think XPeng does like 6,000. XPeng has a smaller market cap. Although the difference, I have to say, the difference between the Chinese EV stocks and a company like Lucid is that Lucid is vertically integrated, or mostly vertically integrated, and the Chinese EV makers are not. So there's a difference in there. There's a key difference because they have to outsource, and Lucid Motors has everything in-house, so things go a lot easier. But yeah, I mean, they need to come out with something big. I mean, look at Fisker. What's Fisker doing right now? Fisker, relatively flat. I mean, relatively flat. This was their price in December. This is their price right now. We had a brief jump, and it came back down, and it came back up, but it's at the same price. I think the same scenario could be kind of unfolding here for CCIV. Or I would say Lucid Motors. I would be very surprised if the stock would go up significantly. It's like they sell like 1,000 vehicles this year, and the stock market, and it's already valued. Keep in mind, don't take this lightly. Lucid Motors already has a valuation of 38 billion. That is absolutely massive. With 15 billion authorized shares, they could dilute the stock as well anytime they want. Yeah, so I'm not too excited about Lucid Motors in the near-term future, but I would say for the next 2 years, yeah, it could perform quite well, given that it's also vertically integrated. But yeah, we're kind of waiting for the deliveries to be ramping up here for Lucid Motors. Somebody says Lucid doesn't have to borrow money, though. With its 15 billion shares, it should be safe with inflation. Well, guess what? They're going to have to sell shares, which is still bad. It's not a good thing for investors, necessarily. What was the last stock you bought? I bought C3.ai. I've been buying a lot of C3.ai, actually. It's been my primary focus, actually, because right now we're getting C3.ai at like, what is it? 51. I'm taking advantage of that. I mean, no problem. I'll pretty much buy any shares I can get right now. Igorino 1. Igor coming in with a 2.3 euro donation. Igorino says, Gara, be in Geo, please. Earnings is on for... Oh, so it's in 2 days. Give me 1 second. Obviously, I don't know. I have no idea whether earnings is going to be good or not. I don't cover the fundamentals on a daily basis necessarily. Let me just quickly... we go. All right, so 35% of people say that the market is going to crash this year. 65% of people are saying no. Oh, okay. Interesting. Still a lot of people that think the market is going to crash. All right, let's check out what's happening with BNGO, Bionano Genomics. Yeah, so before we do, look at DIDI. What can I say? This is gorgeous. It hit 9.7. It came down 5% after being up 4% in the pre-market. So it went down 9% from top to bottom. Then it proceeds to go up from that bottom, and it's almost green. In fact, we had a brief jump for DIDI. It actually was green for a bit, but it looks like it's gradually pumping upwards. So looking quite good on DIDI right now. Remember, when the market opened, DIDI was down 5%. It's now about to go green, which is kind of interesting to see, actually. We got a €4 donation from Eugene Dendas. Can you forecast EHang or EHang? Sure. Thank you, Eugene. We'll take a look at EHang in a second. That was a PayPal donation, by the way. So, first of all, BNGO. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty good, right? So, swing, down, lower high, higher low. Then a potential breakout could be happening here. Although, it does look a little bit like the MACD is crossing, RSI is heading up, growth stocks are doing relatively okay. 1.7 billion market cap. And notice this trend, right? So down, 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 bounces off, up, up, up. I think that could be happening, right? So the trend was just heading down. Speaking of trend, I think there's a gorgeous trend line here too. Yeah, daily chart is crossing to the upside. Let me check what happened last earnings, right? So last earnings, huge move to the upside, right? From earnings onwards, 40% to the upside. And then right here, it sold off quite a large amount. That was basically when growth stocks were selling off. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of earnings of BNGO, actually, sitting at these prices. Which is, I would say, it's going to make it a little bit difficult. Yeah, we have Power Hour coming up in 30 minutes, by the way, so hit that like button. Let's see what happens here. Hold up. I mean, I like what I'm seeing here. The RSI for Bionano Genomics is neutral prior to earnings. 10-year yield is quite low. The price of Bionano Genomics stock is relatively low. Their quarterlies is looking a lot better just in terms of revenue, but still burning lots of money. So very much dependent on borrowing or selling shares, which in both cases could be bad for the stock price. Right, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna be quite bullish here on Bionano Genomics, just plain and simple because we're not overbought yet. We have a low 10-year yield. The daily chart was looking like the MACD was crossing, even on the 1-hour chart actually. And we have this resistance right here, which needs to be broken. If it's broken to the upside, we're gonna have to watch this. If this gets broken, this resistance right here, we could have a breakout. I would say pretty much all the way to around $7 potentially, right? So I'm gonna say that is gonna be my target. Although if it doesn't break, obviously that's a very bad signal. That could mean the market is kind of falling. But I think there is potential right here. for this to be breaking out to the upside. My target is going to be around... Yeah, I think I'm just going to go by with 6.8. 6.4 is also possible, but I think it looks like we're gonna see some strong momentum all the way to 6.8 for BNGO, either for the coming days or after earnings. It does seem like we have the right environment for a stock like BNGO to be heading up right now. I would say there's like a 80% chance of this actually happening, but it's definitely looking quite good. LM coming in with a €5 donation. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to cover EHang and now also EcoStar Sats or SATS. We'll check that in a second. Thank you for that donation. Let me take a look at EHang first. Yeah, so what can I say about EHang? There was a Hindenburg report about EHang. Look at this. This is not good. The RSI is jumping, but the price is still super low, right? So, looks like that looks pretty bad. The 4-hour chart looking pretty bad. Maybe the daily. They have a 1.4 billion market cap with revenues of about 26 million. Their revenues are going up, but they're burning money. I mean, that much is obvious. But the daily chart does look a lot better than what I expected. It is up 7.3% today, too. And the daily might cross. I mean, I think it could rally further, possibly back above 30. Yeah, I don't expect it to go up a lot further than that, though. So maybe we'll see a tiny downturn right around here, something like this. That could be possible right now, like a short-term move to about the lower 30s. Yeah, if there's any sort of news, if CPI is going lower, that could help out possibly. That's kind of what I think could be happening here. I think it's going to be range bound. If it does hit 31 or 30, it could actually just consolidate right there, until there's some bullish, some catalyst that could take it up higher. Let's see. Let me check SATS. Let's see. What's happening with this company here? Oh wow, this is oof. This one has been doing nothing. I mean, wow. $2 billion market cap, and it's just been doing nothing. With digital set-top boxes and products for direct home satellite service providers. How much is their revenue? Right, exactly. So their revenue is actually almost as much as their market cap, because this is one of those companies is going to slowly die off. They don't have a dividend. That's surprising. That's quite surprising, actually. Yeah, I mean, I would not want to put my money in a company like this or a stock like this, because this company is getting disrupted by the likes of Google and Amazon and Apple, left and right. I would say this is, even if we look at like how it's been performing for years, it's just been going down, straight up going down. And then during COVID, even during COVID, it went down. That is surprising. That is really surprising. Yeah, this is not a stock I would love. This is not a stock I would want to touch. This is a very bad stock. Although, I mean, yeah, the stock price has become cheap. I mean, if it's like, if the company's actually, if it has a future in any sense, if they have any innovation going on, they could turn the tide, but look at this downturn. Look at that. That is crazy. 20% downturn prior to earnings. How much did they report before? Beautiful earnings, so it spiked up 18%. And then here, beautiful earnings. Oh, so it seems like it's actually reporting great earnings. So I think it could actually jump up on earnings. That's the only hope I can give it, you know, that it jumps up before earnings, especially after the downturn. I would say it could jump back to around 25. That seems to be a solid resistance just across the board. So I'll say, hey, maybe it jumps to 25, but I don't see the stock moving a whole lot unless they announce something big. It's been downtrending for years, and I think that downtrend is just going to keep on going. That would be my opinion about SATS. Palantir's up 2.8%. Fantastic. We have C3.ai slowly but steadily heading up 1.6%. DIDI stock not quite in the green yet, but it's holding on. And we have Tesla slowly heading back up to the 718. Interesting. Right. Square was down 10% and now it's up 13%. That is surprising. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Virgin Galactic is skyrocketing right now. I actually expected it to go down and then move up. But it's moving up in one go. Might have to do with the fact that the 10-year is actually heading down quite a lot. The 10-year is down 4%. I don't know why DIDI is just kind of stuck at 10.27, but that's just, it's kind of weird. Facebook is down a percentage point, still going down. We have Netflix. I'm telling you, Netflix is not going to do anything. Netflix is just kind of done. I mean, how are they going to grow? Plus, they have competitors now, right? They've got like several competitors that are kind of establishing themselves right as we speak. So they're taking market share at a really fast pace. Plus, we're getting out of COVID. which means a lot of people are actually canceling their subscriptions. So yeah, the Netflix growth story seems like it's kind of ending, unless they come up with something new. I don't see Netflix going anywhere, and you can see that it's just going sideways. We haven't had any upside on Netflix for a long time. It's been a year, just sitting at the same price levels. And it's going to be funny because I think what's going to happen next is a swift move to the downside. Or maybe they come out with a new product or a new kind of service or something. It's surprising to me that Netflix is still sitting at that market cap. I mean, the revenue, I'll have to say, they have pretty high revenues, right? And relatively good profits, too. The fear is, right, that they cannot keep this up. And if they can't keep this up, then this valuation will evaporate. And there you go. Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, well, there you go. Look at that. Q2 profits, net income actually going down. That is a swift downturn. Well, I have to admit, Q1 2021, net income of 1.71 billion, that is quite insane. For some reason, it only says that a profit of about 542 million in Q4. That is strange. La la la. Let's see. Yeah, my hair is just looking a little bit awful right now. It's because I'm moving out. Didn't have enough time to actually fix my hair up, unfortunately, but we'll see. Pinterest. Let's take a look at Pinterest right now. So what is happening with Pinterest? Market cap of 36.6 billion. Down 2.4%. And that is after a massive, absolutely massive downturn right here. So right, it's roughly down 23% just the past couple days. And this is on the fact that they have a lot of users actually leaving the platform, which is a bad thing. Their monthly active users are going down. And that is probably related to COVID. As people are going outside, leaving their homes, Pinterest is becoming less Pinteresting. And so the stock price drops. I personally have bought some stock. I think, I don't think it's going to go down all the way because they have great revenue numbers. So I'm swing trading this one. I think this bad boy can go back up to about 65. So I have some options right now on Pinterest stock until about 65. So that would be the goal for now. And I would actually sell my whole position out at around 65. I wouldn't hold a single stock. Primarily because the stock is so cheap, it's oversold. If we see any kind of bounce, I mean, that would be a very quick profit. And I'm not so sure whether they're going to be able to succeed in the coming months and years. But it's a short-term trade that I'm currently holding. It's a very small amount of my portfolio, so I'm not worrying about that too much. But I thought it would be a nice swing trade. Did you buy Pinterest Friday? No, I bought it actually. I think I did buy some Pinterest, but I bought some Pinterest today as well. And most of it is from today. Oh, there we go. Virgin Galactic is actually still heading up now. It is up 8.8%. Well, it has to do with, you know, earnings are coming up. They already did the $500 million share offering. They're already done with that. I mean, the stock is down 50% from its all-time high. We actually hit a proper support as well, which is around 28, 29 to about $30, and it's moving up from there, up 9.1%. Looks like Virgin Galactic is just going to go to the moon from here. Even the daily chart kind of indicating that the MACD is going to be crossed soon. Looking pretty good so far. Right. All right. Let's see. For some reason, DIDI is just staying negative. It's so strange. It's just like staying flat. It goes up 5% and it just stays flat. It is not allowed to go positive. Do you see this? So freaky. 1, 2, 3. This is in 2 days. 4. It's not allowed to go above 10. Apparently. As it does go above that. I think if it goes above 10, like straight up 10.5, 11, that would be it. It's just going to keep running. There is a gap to be filled at 11.5, right? So I think that gap would be filled. We've already seen that happen previously. I think that was on the pre-market of the 29th. The stock went to 12.5. It filled the gap and it came back down all the way. It's actually not showing it here on the pre-markets. I don't know why, but it did fill the gap. Hold up. Amirali just came in with a €2 donation. Thank you, appreciate it a lot. And Amirali says, could you please check SoFi? I think we can. Let me check SoFi right here. And we have earnings coming up. RSI rising, MACD rising. Volumes are still relatively low to what we have seen recently. Although the volumes, you can see right here, kind of started to skyrocket when the stock went down. So we're talking like hedge funds and institutions sold out of this company. Most definitely. I think there's a good shot for this company to go, at least the stock to go up around 17, 18 short term. So right around here. That seems to be quite a big resistance, you know, between 17 and 18. Hold up. Right, so I'm going to say maybe kind of move all the way to around 18, which is a resistance. And not only that, I think if we use this Fibonacci retracement, look at that. This line right here represents the 0.618 fib. I'll take it. Yeah, I think there's possibly around 20%. I would say 15 to 20% upside for SoFi for the coming 2 weeks. And this is if the CPI is going to come in lower and not higher. Because if it's going to come in higher, we're not going to see any of these growth stocks actually move. Gara, what is your average on DIDI? It's about $8. It's quite low. Who's Uncle Bruce? Somebody says Uncle Bruce thinks SoFi is going to go to $30. Is Uncle Bruce like a new stock mo or something? Oh my god. What does... I'm not even going to get into this. But you know, $30? Did it ever hit $30? I think the stock never hit $30. You know, I can throw out like a random number and be like, hey, you know, I think SoFi is going to get like, it's going to hit like $100 in 5 years. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? So like, oh, 30, 40, 50. I'm giving you a realistic estimate of just the technical situation, the macroeconomic situation that could pan out based off of FIB retracements, you know, RSI, MACD, volumes, and short-term fundamental catalysts. Saying that a stock is going to go through 30 and it's going to double without a date, without any kind of evidence. I mean, okay. But yeah, DIDI is going positive. DIDI is going positive right now. Look at that. DIDI going positive. Oh boy. Let's freaking go. DIDI to the moon. Oh, there we go. We have about 7 minutes. 7 minutes until power hour. We're ready to go. Yeah, Amazon is not quite yet rebounding. Yeah, look at that volume. Oh my gosh. The volume of that sell-off. That is the largest volume that we have seen pretty much since the COVID sell-off with Amazon. That is pretty wild. I'll tell you that. That's pretty darn wild. That is one hell of a sell-off. I think the same thing was probably true for Pinterest. No, it's not true, actually. I would say the Amazon situation is quite dire. That's a very big sell-off that we saw. Hold up. Gara, please check AMD. Next move, please. When to sell AMD looks overbought. Firm 16% up today. There's a lot of stocks that are up. Huge. Any thoughts on Open Door or Redfin? Open Door. Yeah, we were right about this. Let's go. Look at that. It was sitting at 14.7. I said it was going to rally up to hit 17. It actually did. And then it proceeded to go to 18. And it's now sitting lower, way lower. Interesting. 9 billion market cap. Revenues of... why is it doing so... I have no idea why it's doing so bad. I mean, it's still down 60% from the February levels. But they have revenue. They have like proper revenue, right? Internet software. Online platform for buying, selling, and trading residential properties. Okay. Trading in residential properties. Has that actually slowed down recently? So why are they down like this? Did something happen, or it's down a lot? I mean, there's something happening. Let me check. Kathy sold almost all open. Yeah, I would have to delve into the actual fundamentals of this. I have no idea why it's going down so much. And it would take some time for me to get to actually know about this. It's a strange thing. I mean, it's just going down and down and down and down. Just no freaking buying pressure at all. And they're just offloading open door stock. Kind of a little bit similar to C3.ai, I would have to say. But I have no idea whether open door is going to be the future, whereas with C3.ai, I do know AI is going to be the future. So that's kind of the difference there. DIDI is actually up. Look at that. Ooh la la. That's great. I'm going to say open door is probably going to rally for earnings. I mean, it's sitting pretty low as it is. We have a double bottom formation. It's not overbought or anything like that. So, you know, probably hit around 17 for earnings. We'll have to see if earnings is going to be promising. Then it could jump upwards even further. Maybe get back above 20. But yeah, open door stock is sitting quite cheap. Who the hell is going to pay for real estate in cash? Yeah, well. Yeah, so power hour coming in about 60 seconds. 1 minute left. Imagine if DIDI was 15. Oh, that would be just amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. I would be I'll be pretty happy. I would say if it hits 15, I'll probably do another giveaway. We'll probably do another giveaway of like Lucid merch. There's going to be a lot of giveaways coming up. I'll tell you that. There's going to be a lot of giveaways. Let's see. Power hour coming in here. Let me just quickly transition to the power hour template. There we go. Alrighty. I think DIDI is going to breach above 15, and then it's going to breach above 18 and 20, and everybody's minds are going to get blown up. And the same thing is going to happen with C3. It's going to go above 75, then 100. And that will probably happen in the next 6 months. And then everybody's going to think, oh my God, why did I not buy this stock? It's been like this almost every single time. With stocks that have good fundamentals and are sitting very cheap. A lot of people will be like, oh, I knew that the stock was cheap, yet I didn't buy in, but it's now sitting way higher than where it was previously sitting at. But that's okay. I mean, not everybody can benefit from these rallies. I mean, if everybody could make a gain in the market would not function. But I'm just saying, in due time, both C3 and DIDI are going to go up huge amounts. Yeah, power hour coming in here. DIDI penalty. Oh my, tell me something that we don't know. The DIDI penalty is it's a thing that everybody already knows. It's already priced into the stock. Let's see. Virgin Galactic still up 8%. Good. Good. Yeah, I think I ate way too much food today. You might notice it from my level of energy. But yeah, I should have not eaten that much. Yeah, all that energy is going to the stomach, not to the brain. Yet I'm still beating the market right now, so that's quite nice. Would love to be able to beat the market consistently. No way DIDI is going to get delisted. I think they won't get delisted. I'll be very surprised if they do. I'm buying more C3.ai stock. So if you're seeing me like head to my phone or anything like that, I'm just buying more C3.ai stock right now. I just think C3.ai is just sitting very cheap. Oh, there we go. C3.ai is just waiting for Gara to sell, and then it's going to skyrocket. Oh my God. If that were to happen, I would just I would have a bad time. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, let's see. Oh. Oh yeah, by the way, if you join the Discord, then I will be giving you a shout out, so make sure you join. The Discord link is going to be down below in the description. DIDI is heading up. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. DIDI is heading up. Would you look at that? Almost up a percentage point. Remember when they told you that DIDI was the next C3.ai, and then it jumped more than 40% in a couple days. I mean, it's just fantastic, right? Why are you so stubborn about C3.ai? I don't know. I just like seeing my portfolio go up. And I like to prove people wrong. So I guess that's it. Maybe it's a little stubborn, but I'm a bit of a competitive person myself, so. Yeah, so DIDI's slowly but steadily heading up. Maybe we should have like a watch list for the Chinese companies out there. You know what I mean? So we're talking like Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu, the Chinese big tech, right? I think that would be kind of interesting. Maybe we could like put DIDI in that list. The ego is so dangerous, or it's dangerous. Tell me about it, man. It's like a double-edged sword. I'm gonna be really honest. I'm just having a bit of a laid-back live stream. As I'm still moving out, tomorrow I'm gonna be properly moved out. So tomorrow's gonna be fairly awesome. I'll have my own space, and I'll have more time to be working on the live streams, the videos, etc. in my own environment. So this is going to be absolutely great. But yes, like I said previously, I mean, we don't have the green screen right now. And there's a little bit of background noise because I'm still in this other place. It would be funny that if I start moving to the other place, or when I'm there, that there's going to be like tons of background noise. Even worse than here. It's like, oh gosh. Why? Yeah. Gara, Hood is jumping. Is it jumping? Oh no. Really? I have a lot of Robinhood actually. I've got a boatload of Robinhood. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. So Robinhood is jumping right now. Up 6.6%. I mean, look at that arrow. Beautiful arrow. Let's get it going. Let me check my portfolio. Nice. Yeah, so Robinhood is actually heading up right now. And I've got about $4,000 in Robinhood right now. So, cheers. Cheers indeed. I'm planning to sell Robinhood around 45 to 50. So I'm going to hold this bad boy for maybe a couple weeks, maybe a month. Maybe a couple months, maybe a couple years. No, I'm kidding. But you know what I mean. Let's see. Gara, what do you do for a living? I mean, so far, I'm going to be really honest. Most of my income has come from trading stocks. Then my second form of income is obviously what I'm currently doing, YouTube, and giving information to people, trying to teach people about trading and investing and long-term mindsets in trading and investing and the psychology of it. And it's been a modest living. I have to admit. Oh, DIDI going up. How shorted is Robinhood? It's probably shorted by a lot of people right now. First income, Peru Invest. Well, actually, I'm still saving up for a camera. It's kind of silly, right? I've got so much money in the market, but I'm still saving up for a camera right now because I don't want to take money out of the market right now because I think there's some stocks that are going to keep going up. I'm going to get like a really high quality camera that should be helping out a lot with the stream quality. Do you do anything further to further your learning and trading? I think practicing and just watching videos and reading books, talking to other people that are better than you in this field, that tends to help out a lot. So getting lots of information and then practicing the information and then getting feedback from peers, getting feedback from people that are better in the thing that you do, like a mentor, which I currently have. That all does help with your own framework and helps with like kind of getting to that next level. Depends on how it really does depend on how serious you are about this. Will you do courses? I think there's a lot of demand for it, so I will be doing it just because there's demand for it. Over the past 6 months, I've been asked like many times, like, do you have a course? Do you have something? Do you teach something? And I've been like saying the same thing every single time. I am working on it. Working on a website. It's gonna be there at some point. And we also have the Discord, right? So we have a Discord community where you can talk to other people. You can talk about stocks, about trading and investing. And that is where, and it's completely free. I'm not charging anything for that. I think that would be horrendous, right? I think it should be free. But if you want to join the Discord community, then make sure you join right now. I'll give you a shout out if you do. The Discord link is going to be in the description. Oh my god, look at that. Do not, please, don't, no courses. I know what you mean. I've been watching some YouTubers. Since they've been selling courses, they've been corroding. It's that course money. Let's see, can I buy some stocks right now? Oh man. Join Financial Fortress. Only like 20,000. Oh my god. What the hell is that? I've never heard of that. You make big mistakes all times. If you could elaborate, that would be nice. Yeah, Gara will not answer you, but it's a nice Discord. That's not true. I actually do answer. I do answer on the Discord. The financial education Jeremy classes. Oh, and he's offering classes. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if he's offering like year-round classes, and it's like $20,000 for trading in the US, I'm not surprised. But it depends on the quality, right? Like if you're getting classes on a daily basis for $20K a year, I would say that's not necessarily like that bad of a deal. It depends on the quality you get. But 20,000 is still a lot of money. But no doubt, I think Jeremy is amazing at this. I mean, I've been following him for like several years. He's really good at trading. I know he's good at investing, right? Not necessarily trading, just the investing part of it, like buying a stock that has good fundamentals and holding it for like months and years. He's really good at that. I saw you in Benzinga a couple days ago. I don't think so. I have never been on Benzinga, actually. They did reach out to me at some point. Like, hey, do you want to get on Benzinga? I think there was a technical difficulty because I actually tried to join, but it didn't work out, unfortunately. But I think there will probably be another time. It will be fun. He only picks winners. Greatest of all time. I don't know. I remember, I actually remember Jeremy like picking a very bad stock, and he almost lost like all his money on that. So even somebody like him can actually choose a loser. But that's part of it. You can't win all the time. Let's see. Oh, we got a couple people joining the Discord. I have no idea how to pronounce that. It's probably Hebrew. Cubes just joined, and D-Fly also joined the Discord. Cheers. Welcome to the Discord, where we talk about trading stocks and investing. Maybe you should sell one-on-one mentoring. Yeah, so I'm going to start doing that again starting Wednesday. So starting Wednesday, I'm going to be offering that again. And on top of that, we'll be uploading many more videos. So that's going to be the idea. There's a lot coming up, right? Robinhood is still heading up 7% right now. This could potentially be a short squeeze that is happening. I think there's a good chance that is the case. Wow, Pinterest is still heading down. That's just unfortunate. Let me check Wish. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Wish right now. I think there are some like lawsuits going on with Wish. How long has this company been public? It went public at like 23, and then proceeded to fall to 10. I think there were some fraud allegations against it. Let me take a look at that. Fraud allegations. So which stock is in the headlights, in the spotlights, as Berger Montague investigates securities fraud allegations against Context Logic? Wish. The deadline was July 16th. According to a recently filed lawsuit, throughout the class period, the company and its senior management concealed from investors that Context Logic's fourth quarter 2020 monthly average users had declined materially and were not growing. This caused the company's business metrics and financial prospects to be materially overstated. Okay. In December 2020, Context completed its initial public offering, in which it sold 46 million shares at $24 per share. Thereafter, on March 8, 2021, the company reported its fourth quarter and fiscal year 2020 financial results, disclosing that at the time of its IPO, the company's monthly average users had already declined 10% year over year during the fourth quarter. On this news, Context Logic's share price fell $1.83, more than 10%, to close at $15.94 per share on March 8th, 2021. Finally, on May 12th, 2021, they reported its first quarter 2021 financial results, revealing that the monthly average users had declined another 7% to just 101 million. This news sent shares plummeting to $3.36 per share, approximately 29%, to close at $8.11 per share on May 12th. Significantly below the IPO price of the... Right, so... Okay. Alright, so the idea is that the app is actually declining significantly. And that they didn't report that, and so the stock went down. So yeah. So if you're betting on Wish, you're betting on a turnaround. You're betting on the app turning around for the positive. I would say what is in your favor is the stock price. It's sitting at $10. It's not sitting at 20 anymore. So there's a good shot that if it does go to the upside, if we do see a turnaround, you're going to benefit from that greatly. Yeah, but they kind of... They breached the trust of the investors by pretty much not disclosing the information that on a month-to-month basis, they're actually not really... They were not growing. If you're betting on Wish, you read too much Wall Street bets. I kind of have to agree with that. But I mean, if I'm going to be optimistic, Wish could... I mean, they have earnings coming up. Although recent earnings have been pretty bad. Pretty darn bad. We're seeing kind of an uptrend right now. MACD crossing. Maybe it gets back to 12. Maybe it gets back to like 13. We'll have to see. But it does seem like short term. I mean, it's up 5.1%. It's oversold. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it hits like 12 or 13 for earnings. We'll see what happens for earnings itself. But the short term, it could swing to around 12, maybe 13. So I'm going to give it right now. Oh, wow. C3 is dropping again. Don't mind if I buy some shares. Let me just quickly buy some. There we go. right. Yeah, C3.ai sitting at 50.7. It's that, I think one of the stocks that just, I think this is probably the stock that has dropped down the most from most stocks that we've covered so far. It is C3.ai. Let's see what's happening with Workhorse. Let's check Workhorse right now. Yeah, Workhorse is it's not quite bouncing. No surprise there. Tesla sitting at 714.9. We have DIDI still sitting at 10.4. Palantir 22.2. What's your opinion on Pinterest? My opinion on Pinterest is that, I mean, the fact that their users are leaving the platform, that's really messed up. But I do think that investors did overreact on Pinterest. You know, Pinterest did come down too much, way too much, way more than anybody would have expected. Look at this. It went down pretty much 1/4 of its market cap. If that is not an overreaction, I have no idea what an overreaction is. So I do expect a swing to the upside. But I don't expect it to go above all-time highs. I don't expect it to go above 75 or anything like that. It's just going to be a short-term swing, which I am going to partake in. I have bought some Pinterest shares and options. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now with Pinterest. Short-term, potentially go up, but then long-term, I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. Robinhood. Oh, Robinhood is up 8%. Nice. According to Target. Looking pretty good. Alright, so it's up 8%. Let me see if I can view that on my phone at the moment. For some reason, it's going pretty slow. Hell yeah. That is solid. Robinhood to the moon. I think this is just the beginning for Robinhood. Although it is getting to overbought levels on the 30 minutes. But if we take a look at the 1 hour, even on the 1 hour it's kind of overbought. 4 hour chart. It is recovering from the horrible IPO that it had. Do you have 1 million shares of C3 now? Can't wait for it to skyrocket for you. Let me check when earnings is going to be for C3. I think it should be able to come up just on earnings, right? I mean, it's pretty much sitting at the all-time low. Is it just going to go down further? I don't think so. Maybe if the market comes down. I mean, to be fair, it could still come down to the 46. But I think the downside, the potential downside is negligence in comparison to the potential reward of the stock just going up to about 70 or 80 or maybe to the $100. So they have earnings coming up in, I believe it's going to be in a month, first week of September, either first week of September or the last week of August. Gara, check out Helion. They have gotten a reservation for 300 semi-truck orders. Ooh. That's quite interesting. Helion. Yeah, I did say that Helion was going to go up. It's up slightly. I think it's going to probably move. It's going to probably move above $10 for earnings. So, Still waiting for that move to the $11. I mean, earnings is going to be in a couple days. 1.5 weeks left, so should be promising. You will see Robinhood end of the day drop to 35. You wish. If it drops to 35, honestly, I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy that dip. Don't mind if I do, right? I wouldn't. If it drops to 35, I'm going to buy that dip on Livestream. Like, they've got great numbers. And their market cap is sitting at like 31 billion. I think it would be fair to assume that it's going to reach a market cap of roughly 50 billion. Just looking at competitors and looking at like other companies with similar growth results. Gara, do you like DIDI stock or Robinhood stock? I like DIDI stock a lot better, to be honest. I think DIDI could genuinely just double in the next 6 months. And with Robinhood, I wouldn't say that that's the same case. Let's see. Is DIDI heading up? Nope. It seems like some stocks are kind of cooling off right now. Like I said with Tesla, right? It's going to come back down to around 690, maybe 700, and then bottom out properly, then shoot back up. But nevertheless, I think there are some red days coming too. I mean, look what's happening with the Nasdaq right now. Ooh. S&P and Nasdaq sitting pretty darn high. The Fed might be tapering faster. CNBC News. Classic. If there's any bad news that would come, it would be from CNBC. And so far, on so many things, they've been wrong. They've been plain up wrong. Remember when they said that the 10-year yield would go to 2? It never happened. It actually dropped drastically. So I don't trust a single thing that they say. Like, so far they've been really inaccurate. And now they're suddenly saying that they're going to taper down faster. We'll see about that, right? So I don't think that's going to happen. I think we already have seen what the result was of the FOMC meeting. I don't think CNBC has any clue whether they're going to taper down faster or slower. It's just probably false. Oh, CMBS. What the hell, CMBS? Is that a thing? I've never heard of CMBS. One of the chairmen on the Fed was on. He said it, not CNBC, if the job report comes in high. Nah, doesn't matter. Won't happen. If Jerome Powell's not gonna happen, if Jerome Powell says it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. Straight up. I mean, he's been saying this. The job report. I mean, there's still a lot of jobs that need to be added. I think they're probably going to start tapering at the end of the year. Oh, CNBS. Stephen Mark Ryan calls CNBC CNBS. Right, I think I have to agree with that. I mean, Most likely they'll taper late 2022. Nah, I don't think they're going to taper late 2022. I think it's going to be the end of 2021 or beginning of 2022. I don't think it's going to be end of 2022. No freaking way. I would be very surprised if that were to be the case. They're not going to taper down in 2022 or end of 2022. No freaking way. We wish, right? We wish they were going to be doing that, but that's not going to happen. I'm losing a lot on EVgo. Can you please take a look at it? Down 16%. Let me take a look. EVgo. It is down. Oof. Ooh. What is this company? It's a small cap company. Operates electric vehicle charging stations. Yeah, what can I say? I have no idea what this company does. Don't know why it's down so much. But it is down a lot. Is this the all-time low? Yeah, pretty much. This is... Ugh. Pretty ugly. Yeah, no revenues, just cash burn. Burning lots of cash. I'm going to look into this EVgo. Let me take a look at that. EVgo is now a publicly traded company. Fast charging. More than 130 million people in the U.S. live within a 10-mile drive of an EVgo fast charger. 10 miles. That's, well, I mean... The new infrastructure deal would drop $7.5 billion to build a national network of electric vehicle chargers. These four companies are boosting cash. Why is it going down so much? I don't quite understand why this company, its stock is going down so much. What is happening here? It seems to be quite promising. It has a small market cap as well. Really strange. Let me check their financial results. Maybe that can be kind of interesting. EVgo is the nation's largest public fast charging network for electric vehicles and the first to be powered 100% by renewable energy with more than 800 fast charging locations. EVgo's charging network serves over 65 metropolitan areas across 34 states, owns and operates the most public fast charging locations in the U.S. and serves more than 250,000 customers. It's not a lot of customers, I have to admit. I mean, relative to the EV market, it's quite interesting. So why is this company sitting at a market cap of? I'm still confused. It just doesn't make sense. This is a pretty, I would say, interesting prospect if they're actually legit, because there's an infrastructure bill that is going to passing along a lot of capital to these kind of projects like EVgo. Yet it's still sitting at an all-time low, which is kind of weird. Look at that chart. Yeah, it's sitting very low. It's yeah, it's really weird. Kind of confused by this. EVgo stock. Maybe there was some bad news. I mean, it's down 16%. There's something happening right now. It has tanked today by 15% after the company made a regulatory filing to register millions of shares to be issued in connection to exercise of warrants. The filing comes about a month after the EV charge network closed its merger with a special... Oh, okay. So, it's exercising warrants. Okay. 18.1 million new shares that are issuable upon the exercise of public warrants. So they're kind of diluting the shares. The company is registering another 52.3 million shares that can be sold by existing shareholders. Another 6.6 million private warrants. Any new shares that are issued related to the warrant exercise will be dilutive to the existing investors, while shares sold from early investors will not be. Oh, okay. So, okay, so I get it. So there's a lot of share dilution happening right now with this company. Is AI heading down? Okay, that's great. I like it. If it goes down, I'm happy because I'm going to get a very low average before they get some proper news. I'm actually quite happy when it goes down. Believe it or not, I really like it when stocks that I like go down in price. I prefer that over than it going up. Because when it goes up, it's like I can't buy more shares. Usually I have a lot of... I always have some capital to be putting into stocks. So I am more excited when my stocks are down a lot rather than when they're up a lot. Which is kind of weird, I know, but that's been my mindset. If they're down, I can buy cheap stocks. If they're up, I can't really buy. All I can do is sell. Which at times is preferential. You want to be selling if the market is shooting upwards. So yeah, EVgo. I think I'm going to put some money in EVgo. Now that they have kind of diluted their shares. Let's see. They had roughly 60 to 70 million shares. Which, if you think about it, that's a lot of shares. It's a boatload of shares. Those shares could be issued relating to the warrants. And if that happens, oh gosh. Yeah, it's going to get diluted even further. But that's the question. Are people going to sell? I'm going to probably just buy like a small amount of stock in this company. I think it's quite promising given that it has such a small market cap, yet they have such a vital role in the EV business. Short term, C3 or DIDI? I like C3 better. Like, yeah. I've been buying C3 a lot recently. Give me one moment. Holy moly. Oh my gosh. We got a €100 donation from Michael Kelsey. Cheers, Michael. That is awesome. Michael says, enjoy your new apartment/flat. Thank you for hanging out and the stock analysis. Tesla's looking good. Yeah, Tesla indeed is looking good. And yeah, don't worry about it. I'm going to have a great time in the new apartments. Tomorrow I'm going to be moving in. And yeah, it's going to be great. Thank you so much for that €100. Appreciate it a lot, Michael. Cheers. Yeah, Tesla, I think, is looking really, really great. Like, picobello. Very, very nice. Oh, man, this chair is, like, killing me. Ugh. Either it's the chair or it's with my back, but I think it's probably the chair. Alright, let's see. Nvidia. Unbelievable. It's still heading up. Why is Nvidia still heading up? It has like, what, 16 billion in revenue. Although Q1 was pretty great. Look at that. $5.6 billion in revenue. It looks like they're going to have like a blowout quarter coming up for Q2. Which, you know, remember, Q2 for 2020 was 3.8 billion. Now Q1 was 5.6 billion. So the expectation is that it's going to be like roughly double what we have in Q2, around 7, maybe 7.5 billion. I mean, if that keeps on accumulating, I do understand why people are buying Nvidia, because it's like they're going to keep on growing fast. But I have my question mark about that. I don't think that we're going to see that the supply issue that we have with the chips actually last long term. And so that's kind of, that's an interesting situation, because if that's not the case, we'll see Nvidia drop as soon as the growth starts kind of flattening out. It's kind of a ticking time bomb there. First get a chair. I think I got a proper chair. It's just it's not quite made for comfort. Although I can lay back like this. That feels pretty good. Yeah, Virgin Galactic is kind of falling off a cliff. I think the same thing is happening to many other stocks right now. We're seeing stocks kind of lose momentum in the last 10-20 minutes of the market. Palantir falling a percentage point. C3 going negative. AMC down 4%. DIDI stock is heading... Well, actually, DIDI is still positive. I can't complain about that. Look at that. Tesla is slowly coming back to that target support of about 700, 705. So that's happening right now. And it's to be expected, right? So we, like I just explained, Tesla hit a resistance, pulling back right now to a retracement level. And then when it's right at that level, I think it's going to be rather attractive to be possibly entering the stock. I mean, even right now at 708, I think it's looking pretty good. It's getting bloody out there. Is it getting bloody? Oh, well, it is. Look at that. The Russell is actually down 0.5 percentage point. The Nasdaq down slightly. S&P is down slightly, too. Huh. 10-year down 3.6. Yeah, so we're seeing stocks kind of fall off. Ouchies. Oh, well. No problem. Somebody said, here comes the crash. I'm not so sure about that. I don't think it's going to be any crash. There we go. Big tech completely red. EV stocks still green. Neo green, Xpeng green, Li Auto. Bitcoin is down. Value stocks down. Oh my god, this stock just doesn't come down, does it? What the hell is happening with Nike? It's sitting... Yeah, I don't like Nike. I don't like the stock. It's like, what, you want me to buy it all-time high? Like, are you kidding me? Seriously, this stock went up 32% recently. It's a value stock. It's not a growth stock. It's a value stock. The 10-year is low. We have like oversold growth stocks out there. They're ready to be bought up. And Nike is hitting at all-time highs, hitting all-time highs on a daily basis. Yeah, I don't like this stock. Look at that gap. Oh my gosh. Look at that gap. Oh my gosh. Look at the volume spike. Who bought into Nike? It was probably like either a single hedge fund or just a couple hedge funds buying tons of Nike stock. This gap was not filled. This gap wasn't properly filled. Filled. Not filled. Filled. I think there will be a time where it fills the gap almost completely, if not completely, back to the 130s on Nike stock. I mean, heck, they're selling shoes and clothing. It's a value company. It's not a growth company. I guess there's a lot of capital right now, and people just want to put their capital somewhere safe. It's like, all right, it's a value stock. It has a little bit of growth. Just put your capital there. Just don't think about it. Oh well. I mean, Nike was a great buy at the lower 100s, right? But right now, it's just not that worthwhile, at least not in my opinion. Nike will correct after the Olympics. You like the bad ones, or you dislike the great ones? Sorry, but I'm not going to buy a stock at all-time high. When it's projected that a lot of these value companies are going to get disrupted. Let me buy some Nike stock to have some short-term volatility to the downside and potentially earn 20% over the course of maybe 2 or 3 years. While I can also buy a C3.ai, which definitely is risky, but could return maybe 100 or 200% within a year. I mean, it depends, right? If you have a lot of capital that you're kind of putting into the market and you don't want any risk, then yes, Nike could be interesting. Because you don't want any risk. You want just the upside, no downside. Well, then Nike could be quite good. Just not that, I would say, attractive at 160. Nike went up 71%. It went up 71% because of COVID. Because of all the money printing. Because of inflation. Not because they're actually doing better. What's the innovation that they're working on? I mean, where is the smart clothing? We haven't had... so far, we don't have smart clothing yet. I want to be able to talk to my t-shirt. Darn it. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, I just think... I don't know. I think they're going to get disrupted down the road by some other company. Or they have to, like, kind of buy them out or something like that. Let's see. We have about 7 minutes until the market is going to close up here. 7 minutes until the market closes. Let's see. I mean, Nike was great at 50. It was great at 100. It was great at it was okay at 140. It's now sitting at 170. Jeez. What do you want me to say? I mean, they sell shoes and clothing. I'm uninspired. I'll tell you that. Shoes and clothing and marketing. Yeah. I mean, there is a lot of capital in the market right now. And it has to be put somewhere. And one of those stocks is Nike. People just pile up on those stocks. Yeah. We'll see how they'll do when the inflation is going to kind of inflect downwards. I don't think you understand Nike. Well, it's sitting at all-time highs. It's up 30% recently. Inflation is projected to go downwards, which would be bad for Nike and value stocks. So we'll see how long this will last for Nike. But so far, I mean, they've never sat this high in market cap. We have 5 minutes until the market is going to close. Robinhood is apparently moving. Oh la la. Up 7.5%. We have a €10 donation from Shaheen Omrani. Can you do a technical on CANG, Kengo? It seems to have bottomed out. Sure thing. We'll take a look at Kango. Thank you for that donation, Shane. Let me take a look at Kango. C-A-N-G. All right, so it's sitting at $4, which is a support level. Technology services, package software. Let's see what this is. What's their market cap? Small market cap. Dividends of 5.2%. Okay. It's a weird stock. Looks like we're going to have a consolidationary period, to be honest. Sideways at $4, potentially. Yeah, pretty much. I like boring stocks like Nike and Apple, money machines. I mean, the thing is, when they go down, you're down forever. When growth stocks go down, it's just you have to wait and they'll be back up. I mean, when Apple gets disrupted or Nike gets disrupted, it will never come back up to the all-time high. And that's kind of what I'm fearful of. Like all these value stocks. I'm trying to stay clear from them. Swing trading the growth stocks mostly. Yeah, I have no idea what's happening with this stock. I mean, it's so chaotic. Look at that. It's like a pump and dump. You see that? It's just, it jumps up 300%, then it comes down 76% on bad earnings. Not even bad earnings. It was going down way prior to that. Kango. Never heard of this. Is there something happening with Robinhood? Up 7.7. Cool. Pardon me. Let me check. Nothing happening there. Kango stock. It's a Chinese company. What does this company do, though? Is it one of those tutoring companies? It's an automotive transaction service platform that connects dealers, original equipment manufacturers. No. Interesting. I mean, it's sitting at a support level. I don't think it's going to go a lot lower. You can see this is a support level, around $4. We also have earnings coming up, and that's the beginning of September. And usually what happens is that it rallies for earnings. It tends to be the case almost every single time. It tends to be like a good chunk as well. I mean, 20% almost every single time. So yeah, for now, I think sideways movement, just consolidation, a bit of a rally, possibly hitting around $5. I'm not expecting a whole lot, $5 to $5.5. That could be the case here. There's something going on with this company. I mean, it pumped up all the way and then it came back down. We'll see what earnings is going to bring. But yeah, that dividend is also quite peculiar for a small cap to be giving a dividend like that. But yeah, right now I think it's possible for it to be bouncing back around 5, maybe consolidate for the coming days. But yeah, I've never heard of this company, so we'll really have to look at the fundamentals. Yeah, short term, it's pretty much possible to be reaching about 5.5. It's also the Chinese market that's coming down, might be having an effect on that. Probably. But yeah, the market is now officially closed. This was the last stream in this building. I will be live streaming in my own apartment from tomorrow onwards, so that is really exciting. Let me hit up that closing bell. Wow. So, yeah, from tomorrow onwards, it's going to be me and you guys in the new apartment. Let me close that closing bell. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. Market close. Market close indeed. What a beautiful day. All right. There's value stocks and value stocks. McDonald's, Starbucks, Chipotle, Nike are all great stocks to hold long term. I am not so sure about that. I don't think so. I'll give you an example, right? I'll just give you an example, right? See if I can find you some McDonald's. So you're telling me that McDonald's is a great buy right now. But if we take a look at McDonald's, right? So it's a great buy right now. But what if this kind of stuff happens? From 2012 until 2015, it was sideways and nothing happened. Welcome to the land of value stocks. We're lucky that we're right now in this hypercycle because of inflation. But we're going to get back to these times where it just does not move. In fact, there's times when McDonald's, look at the 2000s. 2000s until 2006. This is 6 years of nothing. And there's a lot of time periods like this. 6 years of nothing. And then we have just consolidation for a couple years straight for the financial crisis. And then we have brief moves up and then sideways. Huge moves up right here. And then I think we're gonna get a long period of like consolidation coming up for McDonald's. And just a lot of value stocks either go flat or also like a proper downturn. So I'm not so sure about that long term with these value stocks. And this is like not even considering that it could get disrupted. And remember, McDonald's, it was a disruptor of its time. We could see a McDonald's 2.0 that could come up and just take the market share sometime down the road. Who knows? And so that is kind of what I'm afraid of with these value stocks. 179 billion market cap. And we'll see if that's going to happen or not, but I would rather own a growth stock that is actually disrupting and that's just aggressively taking market share than a value stock that's almost grown out, that's about to lose market share potentially. Not saying that McDonald's is going to do bad, but it's just watch long-term charts. Sorry, I'm looking at what's happening in the past, and it's indicating that whenever the stock goes up like this, generally speaking, it does nothing for a couple of years. So long-term, short-term, generally what you want to do is you want to find out. You kind of want to find out, is it now the time to be riding the wave, or is it time to run away? Because we're going to see times like this where it just goes sideways. Yeah. On an annual basis, look at McDonald's. I mean, they're not even growing. That's the funny part about this. It's hilarious. It's since 2021 that they started actually moving up, but most of that movement has been coming from people kind of putting their money into value stocks. Better than the bank saving account. That's what you're saying right now, but that's when yields are low. When yields go up, trust me, when yields go up, when interest rates start going up, these stocks are going to plummet so freaking hard, it's going to blow everybody's minds. When yields are going to go up. But that's going to happen around 2023, 2024, 2025. But it's going to happen. And when it does happen, oh boy. You best believe that stocks are going to come down. And I think McDonald's, I mean, lots of these value stocks are going to just deflate, like, insanely. Is Robinhood sitting at 38? Hold up. That's possible, I mean. Sitting at 37.9 right now in the after hours. Alright. Cheers, guys, gals. I'm going to be going now. I'll be back tomorrow for market open. We'll be in my new apartment. And everything should be working out great. The green screen's going to be back up. It's going to be really exciting. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe. Check out the Discord. Check out the Twitter, the Instagram. All these social media links are down below. I post very frequently there. So make sure you follow. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your loyalty. And also, thanks a lot for the donations. It does help the channel greatly. This was Lucid Trading. Have an amazing day. We'll be back tomorrow. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Peace out. See you soon.